All right, so today, little different. Honestly, didn't work out too hard. I got into the clinic because I usually work out with my one of my PTs I work with kind of early in the morning. Got in there a little late, so we ended up just kind of like walking the town square, whatever, where I live, which is maybe 4 or 5 blocks, so roughly 8, 10, down and back. So that's really all I did today, but kind of works out what we're talking about a little bit. Um, Talking about O2 transport in the body. So obviously the big thing that's going to be coming out of that is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is that little like four-leaf clover looking thing that has sites for O2 on each of its little leaves there. It's in the blood, red blood cells, all that fun stuff. The cool thing of how it actually works is we actually can't use the O2 on hemoglobin until it gets off of it, which sounds obvious, but you know. So how this actually works is when we drop the pressure of O2, the bonds kind of get loosened a little bit on hemoglobin to O2. And it's really interesting because working muscles, so like say you're doing bicep curls, or actually if you're walking 4 or 5 blocks, you're gonna see a lot of like quad, calf, hamstring activation when you're walking. Those sites are going to have a lower pressure of oxygen compared to the rest of your body. So as the blood kind of goes to those areas, oxygen is going to be able to kind of get off earlier, or not earlier, but easier to that area. So that's kind of how our body regulates that, is that working muscles have a lower pressure of oxygen because the oxygen is being used in etc, Krebs, all that fun stuff. We actually have this curve to kind of represent that. It's the oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve. Basically kind of looks like this weird S shape. So it starts kind of up top, goes down, and that one. So you actually read right to left. So at the stop, you have really high increase in pressure of oxygen, and also believe it was concentration of O2 on hemoglobin. So as you go from right to left, it goes down. And that just shows us, like we were talking about, that as the pressure decreases, you're going to see an increase in oxygen, hemoglobin, like let off. It's going to be able to get off of hemoglobin easier. We can shift this curve to the left and to the right. To the right, it's going to mostly work with pH, so increases in pH, higher temperatures, all that fun stuff. You're going to see a shift to the right, meaning that oxygen is going to be able to offload easier. Only trouble with that is that that means that sometimes the oxygen can be offloaded into areas where we don't want it, which can be a little bad if you're, doing a marathon and your legs are not getting the oxygen they need, all your arms are getting it. So left shift you don't see as much, just because it's going to be basically the exact opposite. It's going to be increase in pH, lower acidity, all that fun stuff, lower free radicals. We're really going to mostly look at that when you're going from a right shift back to normal, is when we mostly see that left shift.